believe it's on. Can somebody check the stream and see what it looks like?
I am on the stream. I don't see you yet. Give it just a second.
It does lag, does it? Doesn't it?
It lags. I keep refreshing the page. I don't see you yet.
I see it. You're good.
Super. Okay.
Cool. Have fun streaming.
Thanks.
Oh, yep, I see you. Oh, you're sharing us.
Yeah, we're here right now.
We're
Yeah.
here. Hello, live
Hi.
stream.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
Enjoy the live stream. Bye.
Yeah, bye. All right. Very cool. And now I can hear that. Welcome anybody who might be in here with me. Just give me a moment to get my stuff together. Bada bing. And bada. Boom. There we go. All right. Hi. How's it going? Welcome back to, or to the first time, depending on who you are, AANE's Infinity and Beyond. The live stream where we talk about issues that are important to us, the autistic community. And it is a special episode, I guess you could call it today, because it is the first anniversary of Infinity and Beyond. We have been doing this lovely live stream here at AANE for a whole year, and that's pretty cool. So, just in case you are here for the first time, though, this is an interactive stream that is, like I said, that is about issues that matter to us, the autistic community. And so, with open minds and all of our opinions, let us explore some stuff. Before we do, though, AANE is an organization that provides services to autistic folks, their families, and the folks and professionals that support them. You can click the link in the description to learn more. My name is Olive Gallup. I've worked at AANE for 7 years. I've been diagnosed on the spectrum since I was 6, and I am published on the intersectionality of being both queer and autistic. I am a trans woman myself. Yeah, I'm excited to do stuff today. Let's jump in. So first off, just thanks for being here. Let's get that going, because I know there are some folks that tune into almost all of our streams, and I just cannot express with enough words how grateful we are to excuse me, to be able to have you guys in attendance and to be just here and being your authentic selves and bringing your vulnerability, your curiosities and questions to the stream. I feel like we have a really cool community here at AANE, and then the stream allows us to just talk very freely and excitedly, and I just really, really value that. I know a lot of us here at the organization do, and I know you guys too. I know you guys do too, because you keep showing up. So we are just so very grateful for that and for you. So heck yeah. Actually, I think it'd be fun if we just real quick went over all of the topics that we've done so far, and then we do have a new one for today. But I just think a little recap would be fun. So first things first, we talked about autistic culture. Our very first one was about the culture. And then we talked about taking care of our mental health. Then we talked about neuroqueer joy, which was one of my favorite episodes to do with Jay Evanson Eagler. Then we did representation in the media. We did interpersonal relationships. We did managing work-life balance. We did autism in the holidays. We did navigating masking. We did healthcare. We did being an adult on the spectrum, and most recently we did ADHD, which was last month. Um, there's a chance we may revisit some of those things in the future, depending on interest in any of those topics. If you are interested in hearing more about any of those topics, please do say so in the comments. Um, and that besides those things, like we're always continuously thinking of more stuff to excuse me, to chat about with y'all. Um, and speaking of which, our topic for excuse me, our topic for today is around Autism Acceptance Month, because that's what this month is. And I have a few questions about kind of like what it means to like have like an Autism Acceptance Month, because like a couple things that I've been thinking about is like, of course we on the spectrum accept our spectrumhood. Like, it's not only just a fact of the matter for us, but it's also like a celebration of parts of who we are. Um, and so I feel like that's kind of innate to us. And so one must think then, if we are kind of already on that level, then who is Autism Acceptance Month for? Um, and so I figure that that means that Autism Acceptance Month is for our allies, folks who have loved ones who are on the spectrum, or are caring for loved ones, or are caring for folks on the spectrum, um, our allies. And so I'd first love to hear if you have any different perspectives besides that. Like, I personally prefer um, Autism Acceptance Month, because I think at this point, like lots of folks, most folks, I would say, um, know what um, know that autism exists, rather, um, but a lot of folks don't really, or like don't really know what it entails, what it really means to us, um, and um, even if they do have an idea, it might not be um, they might not understand all the nuances of it. I'm looking at Maggie's comment in the chat saying that they're aware, but do they get it? That's a great way to phrase that for sure. Um, and so, except like, then like if that's like, if I'm talking about my preference here, then like let's talk about acceptance. So, what is acceptance to me? To me, acceptance is not only a dedication to understanding, but taking action to actively include somebody with a difference in their life, um, in your life, to include that person in your own life. And so then, what does it mean to do that for an autistic person? Um, the short version, I think, would be excuse me, I'm so sorry. The short version, I think, would be um, just learning who the person is, because like, at the end of the day, like, you've heard the classic phrase, if you are or if you've met one person with autism, then you have indeed met one person with autism. um, so like, for me, like that includes like understanding that when I'm not making eye contact, like right now, I've been looking over here the whole time. Um, um, that means that like I am still communicating with you. I still love you, and like I'm listening. And in fact, this makes it easier for me to listen if I can look over here. Um, um, some autistic folks don't like to be touched. Some autistic folks really like to be touched. Um, you know, some autistic folks have significant sensory issues. Some autistic folks are sensory seeking. It's like there's so much nuance. Um, and so, with that much nuance, I feel like it's almost better to say, like, you can, like, you can just, like, approach any new person in your life with a, like, I am going to, um, like, I am going to, what is it? Uh, like, I'm going to try to include this person in my life, when you meet somebody new. Unless they're like awful or a bigot or whatever, in which case, you don't have to do that. But like, um, I feel like going into it with a mindset like that is helpful, and it makes it so that um, anybody as well can feel safe in like wanting to reach out to make a connection, to have a relationship, so that you can feel free to express your true self. Um, and that you don't have to mask around as many people, which we've also talked about on the show. We've talked about masking plenty of times, and it's that's we'd all love to be able to do that less. So that would be really cool. I'm not seeing any comments in the chat yet, unless I'm just not like up to date. No, I think I am. But yeah, if anybody watching comes in with questions or just their perspective on whether to call it acceptance or awareness month, I would love to hear it. Because there's a lot of merit to the term awareness as well. Because like you could phrase it like being aware of all of the nuances that I just talked about. Um, excuse me. I don't know why my throat is so blab right now, but thank you for bearing with me there. Um, but it could be awareness of all the nuances of a loved one with autism. It could be awareness of like all of the commonalities that lots of autistic people have. It could be aware of the struggle and oppression that we go through so that one can take an active stand against it. There's a lot of merit to each of the terms. So if you find yourself in the chat, I would love to hear your opinion on whether um, you prefer awareness or acceptance in the title of this month. Um, and Maggie actually asked a wonderful question just now. What do we think about calling it autistic pride? Um, and personally, I love that because I'm also an LGBT person. And actually, you know what? I would like to use identity first language. I am LGBT. I am trans. So in our pride celebrations and parades and all that stuff, like, you know, it's all about being out and loud and authentically ourselves and, you know, very much a part of society. And a lot of it is like, righteously so, but then another part of it is like in spite of folks that might rather not have us around. And so I actually really love that attitude, um, bringing, bringing that attitude over here to the realm of neurodivergency, where we can be out and loud and, kind of assert that we are welcome as members of society. And just like I know that lots of us love to hear tangible things that might come of that. So that might look like being able to free stim or being able to use any sort of sensory or mobility aids. Not feeling shame for making decisions, and that could like be anything from um, picking something familiar to eat at a new restaurant, um, or like choosing to go home from a function, when you're overwhelmed or overstimulated. Um, so um, I really like calling it autistic pride um, in 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 this kind of context. I would actually love it if like this is what the month was called, if it was Autistic Pride Month, hell yeah. Oh, I'd so get behind that. Absolutely. Um, so that's really cool. Thanks for that question, Maggie. That was really nice. Um, let's see. So, one of the questions I had that I think ties into this train of thought that we're having right now is what do autistic people want to do in this month of April, whether we call it Autism Acceptance, Autism Awareness, Autism Pride Month, whatever we want to call it, what do we want to do in this month? What do we feel is um, like a good use of the spotlight that we have right now? Um, hello, Anthony. Thanks for joining. Um, let's see. So gosh, there's not a ton of people in the chat. So I'll just start with my opinion. But Anthony, in case you, I should address more than just you personally. But in case anyone didn't hear the question, we are wondering about what do we as autistic people want to do during this Autism Acceptance Month or Autism Awareness or Autism Pride Month, whatever we want to call it. What do we want to do with this month? How best shall we use this spotlight? And so I'll just go ahead and answer while anybody can be taking time to think. But I would love it if we had like showcases similar in purpose to maybe what an LGBT pride event would be like, but it would have to be executed in a different way because as much as I personally love pride parades, I know plenty of us in the community who find crowds and noise and stuff like that completely overwhelming. So that might not be the best thing to do. That would be, inclusive. But I would love to have, showcases and um, educational material and just um, like coverage of like basically all things autistic. Um, and like I'm having trouble thinking of like how that would work tangibly right now because I'm just like starting this train of thought. Um, but essentially like if we have this autism awareness month, autism acceptance month, whatever, then theoretically we have a spotlight. So I would really like it if um, everybody kind of agreed that, like, yes, the spotlight goes down on the autistic community right now. And if we were prepared with materials and all sorts of cool things to provide education and like fun and events and like um, stuff like that, I think that would be super sweet. Um, so that's food for thought, I guess. And if you're in here and you um, are thinking about like maybe what kind of events would be friendly for the autism community, as well as inviting for our allies and folks who might benefit from learning about us, I'd love to hear it. Please say so in the chat. Speaking of which, I think I see a few comments in there. Um, meditation meeting vibe. Yeah, Anthony, that's a good one for sure. Cause like I just like I feel like those like wellness activities are really attractive to a lot of people, and to put that in the context and realm of autism, I feel like would like that'd be a nice like overlap for allistic and neurodivergent people alike. Yeah, I like that a lot. Um, Oh my god. Yeah, Maggie, like just like reading your comment about like an info dump night, like I don't know how that would work logistically, but to me what that says is autistic joy is such a unique and beautiful experience. And I would love to like be able to showcase that somehow, and like an info dump night like you suggested is like I feel like that could happen because like I'll just quick like real quick like one of my favorite things that my partner and I do together, we are both on the spectrum, and so one of my favorite things is um like whenever either of us gets going on like an info dump or a like a special interest, it just like the joy radiating off of whichever one of us is espousing at the moment is just so infectious. Um, like I don't want to spill too many details about her when I haven't asked her permission, so I'll just say that she has a favorite piece of art that she just loves talking about, and so I like it just makes me beam whenever I'm like listening to her talk about it because it's just like, oh my god, that's so cool. Like and like I just I really love that. And like so my point is in bringing that up that like that joy that is experienced between the two of us right there, like that is a very unique and cool autistic joy, and so I would just love to be able to showcase that somehow, like to be able to show somebody that like this is autistic love right here. This is a bond between two autistic people over like one of their favorite things, and then like a love for seeing each other happy. Like that's a cool thing. And so I just feel like, like I feel like a lot of holistic people might not appreciate what autistic joy might look like. And I say that because there's still a lot of expectations of the autistic community to like work on conforming with the neurotypical holistic community. Um, and I understand why. Like, I think it's because they don't understand what autistic joy looks like, or that autistic joy is even a thing. And so, as much it will be as educational as well as like spiritually uplifting and also just like greatly entertaining, I would love to be able to make a show of autistic joy. And I feel like in this month of autism acceptance, like that would be the perfect time to do that. um, so I don't know, that's my idea. um, Hell yeah. And I see there's more comments, so I'm gonna read those. um, Artistic displays, very flowing, very ranging, like the spectrum, but quiet and peaceful. Yeah, absolutely, Anthony, for sure. Um, oh my god, because like we could get like so into like you know like autistic artistic displays, and like just to like see how that would flow from an autistic point of view, and like just like oh my god, like that would be so cool because like people love art, like there's just no bones about it, everybody loves art. And so to be able to like have maybe even an exhibit that's like curated by autistic folks, I feel like that would be super cool. um so that's a great idea, thank you for that, Anthony. um yeah, heck yeah. I feel this is a little bit of a tangent, but I just feel so spoiled being part of the autistic community because like man, I spent so long trying to conform to holistic standards and like really like change myself like that, but that's just not, I don't like doing that. Um I talked about this a little bit in the neuroqueer joy episode, but like after I came out as a trans person, I feel like I also, without even really like deciding to do it, but I just kind of started doing it. I started also like radically being myself as an autistic person, and it's been so freeing and wonderful. And I feel like I'm experiencing like true happiness for the first time. Not to say I was completely unhappy beforehand, but like my happiness has known has never known such bounds as it has recently. Um, and like forgive me for getting emotional right now, but like I just feel like that's a pertinent thing to say on this you know, Autism Acceptance Month for sure. Um so there's that. Um a display of the wide range certainly altogether. I'm afraid I don't know what you mean by that, Anthony, but yeah, for sure. Um whew, okay. I had more questions I wrote down, so I'm gonna keep going to those. Oh, is anybody doing this month well? And if so, who? And I think what we meant by that was is anybody like is anybody like any organization or like any one person um, using their spotlight in Autism Acceptance Month well right now? Is anybody doing like all any of this education or like just showcasing or art or any of that kind of stuff? Is anybody doing that well right now? Um, and gosh, I really wish there were more people in the chat right now because I don't really know of any organizations besides AANE that are doing that well right now. Um, so, you know, if more people show up, I would love to hear about it. Um, for sure. This just makes me want to talk about autistic joy more because, like, you know, when I think of the phrase doing it well, like, you know, all I can think of are like fellow autistic folks that I know who are thriving and, like, you know, doing their best and, you know, creating art and relationships and all that stuff. And, like, I just want to talk about all my autistic friends right now. Like, those are the folks who are doing it well, man. Like, oh my God. Oh wow. Okay, cool. So Maggie can actually back up my claim that AANE is doing Autism Acceptance Month well. Because she was just saying in the chat that I appreciated that here at AANE that they asked the staff for opinions on how to celebrate this month. Like, yeah. um, everybody at AANE is connected to autism somehow. Whether we are on the spectrum, have a loved one on the spectrum, have been just studying it for ages. Um, some of us might be on the spectrum even though we're not diagnosed yet. Anyway, um, couldn't be me. I'm already diagnosed. Um, but that is really sweet. And, like, you know, I think especially for organizations that have lots of clout and also, um, you know, are like culturally relevant, um, it's important to ask those kinds of questions. Because like imagine if like any of those like ultra capitalist like entertainment companies would do such a thing. Um, like imagine if well, actually, I don't know. Okay, sorry. I have a segue. Bear with me. This is gonna just take a second. Because what my comment was gonna be was I off the cuff just thought of like the next like company that I could think of, and Newbury Comics was the first one to pop into my head. Which, if you don't know, is a chain store that has lots of like culture apparel and like music and movies and stuff like that, usually found in the mall. Um, so I thought to myself, what if Newbury Comics did like an autism awareness month? But then the reason why I stopped was because of probably the same reason you're thinking of, which is that probably wouldn't go so well. And like I'm not saying necessarily that Newbury Comics is like in particular going to be bad at it, but it's more like capitalist chains are usually really bad at like culture stuff when it comes to awareness months. Cuz like think about it in the context of like LGBT awareness where like you know, companies like on the 1st of June will be like, and here is our pride merchandise. Um, and then, you know, the 1st of July, they're like, gone, all gone. There's no more celebrating. And to me that tells me like, okay, well then you were just in awareness month for the cash grab, and like, that's disingenuous, which I wouldn't wish upon the autism community either. Um, which actually brings me to a question that we I was like, I'm sorry I keep lamenting this, but like if we had more folks in the chat, I was gonna ask like, what is the most cringe thing that has happened during the month of April in the name of autism acceptance? And I feel like that's like that is that's probably something that would happen if like any of these chains were to try to be kind of hip with it, with Autism Month. Makes me wonder what I'm not gonna go there actually. Never mind. But I am gonna read the comments real quick. Shout out to any companies that reach out to us for trainings. We do get more requests in April, which is much appreciated. Um, which yes, we do love that. Oh, sick, Maggie. That's where I was gonna. That's what I was gonna shy away from, but you brought it up anyway, so fuck it. So, oops. Sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear on stream. Ignore that one. Um, but there's only one person here anyway. Um, most cringe is lighted up blue. Cause it's a whole slew of reasons why that's not nice. Like, first off, like I don't want to freaking paint myself like I there's a difference between like being loud and proud as an autistic person and also just like painting a target on yourself of like, yeah, like, you know like, come and get me. um and also, Maggie, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I believe that Lighted Up Blue comes from Autism Speaks, right? uh which is notoriously a company that has not treated the autistic community very well, and also is rather capitalist about it. Um, they have a lot of money that I feel like they could be using better elsewhere. So, you know, that it's overall a very cringe experience to have Lighted Up Blue be like the thing that is pervasive, which makes me doubly thank any company that comes to us for trainings and stuff, because you know there's so much more to to autism than that. Um, oh my God. Okay, so Maggie, thank you for the extra details. So it is indeed from Autism Speaks. And initially, it was a cause that was focused on the cure for autism, um, which stupidest thing I've ever heard of. Not only is there no cure, but I am rather proud of my Spectrum hood. Thank you very much. Um, now that I said The Cure like that, I think I just want to listen to The Cure. That's time better spent than thinking about Autism Speaks anyway. Um, hell yeah. Um, I think I'm just going to keep moving since there's not many folks here. Um, what else was in here? Um, da 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 da. Actually, huh. I think that was it for our canned questions. Yeah, so usually what I do in streams like this are bounce off the chat a bit more, and then we could probably end up going for another 10-15 minutes or so. Um, but that like it's kind of poetic that we are talking about autism acceptance and pride and all that stuff right now as we have our first anniversary of the Infinity and Beyond live stream, because I think that this effort of live streaming here um, is a great showcase of autistic pride. Um, and I would even say just that it is, not that I think, it just is. And that is evidenced to me by uh, all of the effort that is put in behind the scenes In which case, I'd like to, or sorry, rephrase that. All the efforts that is put in behind the scenes by just super lovely, excellent folks like Maggie, who's in the chat right now, Ryan Walsh, who put together like all of the technical sides of things, so that like I could have guests. And speaking of guests, oh my God, like all of the super lovely, excellent guests that I have had on the show who have brought their expertise and talked with me and all of us about all of their resources and pride and just loveliness, for the autistic community. Um, and I'm so, so grateful for all of us. And like, it brings me such an immense sense of pride and just contentedness to be part of this effort. Um, and I think that's just like so perfect that not only is our anniversary during Autism Acceptance Month, but it's on the first day of it. Like, are you kidding me? That's rad. And that's no April Fool's joke. Hell yeah. Dearly thank you, everyone. Like, this is just amazing. And like, even though there's not many folks here in the chat tonight, if you're watching this at a later time, please, please, please feel free to comment answering any of the questions that I posed. Um, and just like keep sharing your thoughts, keep attending the stream, keep being good to each other, because you all deserve it. And like, we, the autistic community, like, have just so much love and like also just deserve so much love. And I'm proud to be part of us. I'm proud to be part of the community. And I have a lot of love. And I appreciate y'all reciprocating that. And I think I'm gonna end there. I think that's a good place for us to stop. So one more time, um, and onwards and forever, of course. Um, we are AANE, an organization that provides services to autistic folks, their families, and the folks and professionals that support them. Click that link in the description to learn more. My name is Liv Gallup. I really love being here, and I'd love to see y'all too. And I'll see you another time. Thank you very much.